Good evening, this is Matthew Miller from the ZDNet Mobile Gadgeteer and Smartphones and Cell Phones blogs. Today I'm going to take you on a walk around tour of the Nokia E75. This is the newest E-Series device from Nokia that I had a chance to play with and get one for a little while at CTIA. So let me just show you some of the hardware first. Now, on the right, I have this is the E71 North American version. Nice forward-facing keyboard device, and this one over here is the E75. As you can see, it's looks like a candy bar form factor here, completely different, but it has that amazing E-Series quality. So if we look on the back, we've got some stainless steel backs here on both of the devices. Just very good quality. If we look at the thickness here, you can see the E71 is thinner, but there's some features I'm going to show you on the E75 that I really like. So let's just start off. We got the E75. We have a ambient light indicator up top with a forward-facing camera for video conferencing. We've got the display, which is nice, but it's still a 240 by 320 QVGA display, so some of the fonts could be crisper and things like that. But as you can see, this screen is loaded. This standby screen on these E-Series, you can really load up. I think there's an option for 14 different utilities and notifications I can have on here. I think I have 8 selected. So as you can see right here, I have my shortcut bar, and then we have the new Nokia Messaging, which I'll show you in a minute. I've got my calendar right here. I've got a podcast that I'm listening to, the Forcecast. I've got Wi-Fi scanning, search, and then what I love about the E-Series is down at the bottom here. There'll be missed calls here, then text messages here, and then voicemails over here. And then you can also see this is a Feature Pack 2 device with 3 options: menu and Opera Mini, which you can customize those two. And then the center directional pad, it says open. So there we go. Now looking at the keyboard, on the keypad on the front, we've got, as you can see, there's a directional pad here, and I thought I read that this was a sensor pad that would rotate with finger press. I can't find that setting anywhere, and I don't know if maybe it's just the firmware on this device since it's a pre-production unit, but I'll have to check on that. What's interesting though is you can see over here and over here, we've got 8 different functions on 1, 2, 3, 4 different buttons, and it's really pretty tight. So we've got the left and right soft key, we've got a home button, we've got a back or delete button there, we've got the end key, email, calendar, and send. Now what I keep on doing is when I'm in an email, instead of going back to the email list, I actually have been hitting this X and actually deleting my email. So these buttons are pretty tight, and I have medium-sized hands, but as you can see, my thumb will actually cover 2 buttons. So something you have to get used to. What you may be able to see here is these keys are all, let's see right there, they're all slightly angled outward at the bottom. So there is some, as you can see there, these ones are actually angled in. So angled down there and up there, as you can kind of see it on that angle. So there is some design work to get that better. As far as the keypad goes, these keys are pretty well spaced. Again, they're on solid bars, but they are spaced pretty well apart, as you can see there. Okay, so let's swing around to the top. One of the fantastic aspects of this, what is see there? Standard 3.5mm headset jack. I can use the headphones that I love rather than an adapter. That's big for me. Over here on the left side, we've got 2 doors, and these are actually redesigned doors that cover the micro SD and micro USB ports. These are actually well-designed doors. They seem pretty durable, and I don't have fingernails, as you can see see there. So these actually have good protrusions that I can pull up, and they stay in there securely. One thing I learned from Ricky Cadden is that this micro USB port can also be used for charging. So rather than just syncing, it's also a charging port, which is great. And then moving down the bottom, we have the standard Nokia charging port. So you have 2 different ways of charging this unit, which is fantastic for somebody who's in the office or at home and has different solutions for doing that. There's the mic opening, and swinging around the right side, we see there's a lanyard opening here. We've got a dedicated camera button. Another big improvement over the Nokia E71 and some other E-Series. It's nice having the dedicated camera button. Halfway press does the autofocus, and then you can take the picture. Also very nice to see, dedicated volume down and up buttons that aren't on a rocker. It's separate buttons just for volume, so you can easily make sure you're controlling the right volume. And then there's a push to talk button. I believe you can also set that to voice commands. Okay, so that's swing around. Now let's go to the back. As you can see here, the back, this is actually stainless steel cover. Actually says stainless steel inside it. And it has small, let's see if we can, I think I captured it in the pictures. You can kind of see it here. It has small little ribs. You can hear that as I run my finger across it. But it's stainless steel, beautiful. The plastic is a very dense feeling gray, silver plastic. Also feels high quality. This is the speaker opening with a little grill in there. Quite loud for speakerphone and for listening to podcasts in my car. We've got a 3.2 megapixel camera with a flash and a self-portrait mirror, and I found this camera does pretty well. I'm going to post some pictures in my review, and I have noticed no purple tint over the E71. So there's the back cover, pops off. We've got the BL4U battery. It's actually a 1000 milliampere battery, but so far I am seeing easily 2 days of heavy usage with the Nokia Messaging client and push on, so it's doing pretty well there. So now the unique feature of this one, similar to the HTC Vox and the HTC Rose. I was going to show you a Rose, but my wife has it with her. So what we do now is we slide up the front display and we see a full QWERTY keyboard. And as you can see here, the buttons are well spaced. There's spaces between each key. They actually have a kind of a rubbery feel to them, and as you press in, there's actually pretty decent feedback when you press in on the keys, so you can definitely feel it. So there's the right side. You can see there's a shift key over here, and what I like to see is a dedicated period, comma, dedicated at button, 2 shift keys, one over here on the left, one on the right, and a nice size space key. So pretty well laid out keyboard. It's 4 rows. The numbers are activated with a function. You can double press it to number lock. Interesting little bar here. I don't know if what that's design feature. It'd be cool, I think, if this was like a scroll bar. So if I was in this way and I was browsing the web or wanted to scroll down to a menu, I could just use this as a touch sensitive bar, which would be nice to see, because the directional pad sometimes can take a while to scroll up and down. So as you can see, it's not super wide, so it's very comfortable for 2 thumbs to type away on this keyboard. And I do like to see that. Okay, so let me turn off this overhead light since we've walked around the hardware, and let's try to show you some of the software. So as I said, I love these. Let me unlock it. I love this bottom notifications. You know, you can see your messages. There's a Twitter message obviously there. Let me go into some of the menus. Now I have changed these around. They do provide new menu structure in this feature pack too. As you can see, there's an office folder. Settings is located within a control panel folder. As you press that, you can see all these other different settings and stuff like that. I've already customized some of these, as you can see. That's kind of my traditional layout. The way Nokia did it on this device, though, is they also have laid it out so that you can use the keypad, which is 12 icons, which matches the 12 icons there. They try to set it up so that all the icons appear on one screen, so you could use the keypad to very quickly jump around between all of the different buttons without having to use the scroll bar, since it is a non-touch device. So if I want to go to control panel, I press in on 5. I want to show you some settings, press in there. Okay, so I want to show you a few special settings for this particular device. They have a sensor settings. This device has an accelerometer in it. You can set the display rotation for off or on, so that if you, let me just turn it on. As you can see, as I rotate, automatically rotates the display. Turn it off for now. Now we go to tapping control. So what this is if you actually tap the device twice, you can silence alarms, or silence calls, or snooze alarms. I'm afraid that I'll hit it too much, so I have those turned off. However, I do have turning control. So as you can see here, we can also silence calls and snooze the alarm by taking the device and turning it and flipping it face down. That will turn off, that'll snooze the alarm and silence the call. So that's pretty cool settings with the sensors. Let's go down here. Let's see. Slide handling is the next one I want to show you. So we open this up. Opening the slide. What we can do here is you can set a shortcut to launch any application. I like the messaging because if I'm going to open the slide, more than likely it's because I'm going to type either a text message or an email. Now closing the slide, you have two options. You can say no change and stay in the application you're in, or you can say go to the home screen. It'll always return to the home screen. Some other functions are audio change when opened. There, what this means is, and I found this out and I'm going to leave it by default, is when the keyboard, when you're in a call, and if you wanted to like write a note while you're in that call, you would slide the keyboard open, and I have it set so that when I slide the keyboard open, it automatically goes to loudspeaker, speakerphone. And then when I close it, it automatically goes back to the handset. So it figures if you're opening the keyboard, you're going to do some typing, you're not going to hold it up to your face. So that's pretty cool functionality. Another one is keyguard activation. So when you slide it closed, will it on when closing, off when closing, or always ask? I have it on when closing and it locks automatically. You can also set some tones, and there's some pretty cool slide handling settings there that I really appreciate. Now, let me see. I think that's it for the special. Let me just look through the applications here. This one also, like the E71, supports the different modes. So you can have a business mode and a phone and a personal mode. Share Online is also integrated in this device. Quick Office, the full suite, where you can actually create documents, is in here as well. I'm just trying to see what else is in here. There's a FM radio with RDS support, GPS, you know, with Nokia Maps. Okay, so let me go into the thing that I would like to show you is the email client, the Nokia Messaging client. So it took me a while to figure this out. Actually, it took me about 20 minutes and a download of Mail for Exchange. This time, Nokia has integrated Mail for Exchange into the Nokia email client. So now you get Mail for Exchange and then whatever else you want. I have Gmail and my Nokia Experts emails, which are Gmail emails, all in there. Okay, so if I go to Mail for Exchange, there we go. I see my mail, and there's a bunch of different options: create mail, more, search, and then some different settings. I won't get into all the settings right now. But if I go up to here, as you can see, I can go to switch over to Gmail, Nokia Experts, and if I switch into Gmail, there we go. Now you can also add folders, and in this one so far I've not found the 5 folder limit, which is nice. So that one has more than what it had before. I think Nokia Email before had 4. So there's all integrated, and I'll go into more detail on the Nokia Messaging or the Mail for Exchange in a later post on Nokia Experts. Also wanted to show quickly, let's jump into the... One thing I also like about this is you can start typing a contact's name, and it will automatically filter your contact list, which is very nice. So let me go into contacts real quick here, if I can remember where I put it. I think I put it in Office. Let me make sure that contacts aren't showing up. Okay, so you can see there is type to search, but better than that, you can also go to and I'm looking for where that setting, oh, search from remote, sorry. So if I go to search for remote, I can actually type in there and find contacts on my Exchange server, which is something I really like to have. Okay, so that's a look around, quick look around the E71. I've only had it for a few days and want to use it lots more before I do an even fuller review. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to post them on the blog, and I'll try to answer them in a further post, and also do some more with the Nokia Messaging. Thanks for watching. First one.